Hey guys, and welcome back to Z3 Cubing. Today I'm going to be unboxing the GuoGuan YueXiao EDM. So the Cubicle sent me over this package. Inside should be a very interesting new cube release from GuoGuan, which is part of MoYu, and it's called the YueXiao EDM. And basically it has adjustable magnets, but it's not like you just swap out the magnets, you actually can just move them around in place. So it's a very interesting new concept for a high-end Speedcube because basically you can change the strength of the click of your magnets without even having to take the cube apart or switch out any of the pieces. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. First off, let's just take a look inside of here. We have some Rubiks silk. I do actually have some of this already, but I guess they don't like my old bottle of it, so we have the new version. Looks a lot more green. I'll definitely be using this in the future. Oh yeah, and it looks like they're also rebranding it as Cubicle Lab Silk instead of just Rubiks silk, so that's probably why it looks a little bit different. Anyway, all that's left in this package is a business card, Cubicle Labs, and the cubicle.com. Anyway, let's go ahead and get onto the cube. Anyway, I'm really excited to get into this puzzle, not just because of the advancements in technology, but also just as a nice high-end flagship 3x3. I never tried out the original GuoGuan YueXiao, but I was told it was a really good cube back in its day. This is a YueXiao Pro, which is also pretty good. It has a really unique kind of light and a little bit snappy feel, which I kind of like to it. I was told this one wasn't as good as the original, but hopefully this one will improve upon both of those. Anyway, getting into the box here, we have a little card, we have the cube itself, and some accessories. Let's open up this box here. So it looks like we have a lot of stuff in here. Let's just pour it out. Looks like we have all of MoYu's classic accessories, a couple more little card things, instruction manual. These things, which are supposed to help with tensioning but actually aren't very useful. We have an extra core, a screwdriver, some extra magnets. Then perhaps most importantly, we also have this little tool right here. So the YueXiao EDM actually carries over MoYu's really cool tensioning system that they built into their Weilong WR and Weilong DTS3 previously. And so basically not only can you adjust the actual tensions of the cube using a screwdriver, you can also adjust the tensions of the spring. So you can make it kind of more snappy or more of a light feeling as you're turning it. So that is a really cool feature. Anyway, let's get on to the actual cube itself. Move all this stuff out of the way. Oh yeah, and also as part of the cube cover, they also have this ridiculous thing, which MoYu for some reason still continues to include. Basically, it has a little thing where you can stick this on here, stick this on here, and then stick the cube on top as a little bit of a stand. I don't know what this does. Maybe you put it like that. There we go. Yay, cube on a stand. Anyway, getting back to things that are actually useful, let's get on with the cube itself and do some first turns. Alright, so it feels very much like a MoYu cube right out of the box. A little bit of that sandy feeling that'll go away with a couple of solves. Let's just scramble this up and break in the plastic a little bit. It's definitely very loose, so I'm not able to really control it very, very fast. Well, the first big thing I'm noticing while trying to control this thing is just a lot of catching. It looks like these corner pieces are getting stuck on the centers like this, which is just causing it to lock up a lot. So this cube is so loose, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten it quite a bit and get back to you and see how it is. Wait a minute, first just have a look at this. I think that is the fastest H-perm I have ever done. This thing is just ridiculous. Alright, that's a lot better. Those are much more reasonable tensions, especially for me. But you know what? Now that we have the center caps off, we might as well try out the tensioning system of the springs. Looks like it's on the loosest setting right now, and so if we do this, it'll make it a little bit more kind of snappy. So let's go up like 3. I think I have it something like 4 clicks on my main, the Weilong WRM. There we go. Let's try it out. Yeah, that definitely feels a lot more like what I'm used to tension-wise on the cube. In fact, just from tightening those springs, I think we can even loosen the cube up a little bit because it kind of compensates a little bit for that instability of the looseness. So I think I'm just going to go around and adjust it a little bit more until I get it just how I like it. There we go, so 4 clicks in and a little bit tighter than how it comes. That definitely feels like a lot more usable of a cube for me. I'm not going to have any more problems with catching at all. Now back to the basics about this cube. Its size is a relatively small 55.5 millimeters, which is the same as the WRM. So it's going to feel a little bit smaller than most standard cubes, like this one right here. Now this cube's sticker shades aren't quite standard. I believe they're the same as on the original YueXiao, but as you can see, they're definitely a little bit brighter and in my opinion a little bit nicer than the standard shades. However, unlike many modern cube releases, including most of MoYu's recent puzzles, the YueXiao EDM actually doesn't come in stickerless. It only comes in the stickered version, and it's actually not possible to create a stickered version based on their piece design. This is a very questionable decision from MoYu because most people these days actually don't consider even buying a cube unless it comes in stickerless. Personally, I don't really care that much. I used to use sticker cubes a lot. It's not going to be a deal breaker for me like I know it is going to be for a lot of other people, but I've been recently switching over to using primarily stickerless cubes, so it would have definitely been nice to see that. However, there is something else really nice about this cube that perhaps even comes as a result of the design not being available in stickerless, and that is this cube's price. So there's actually two versions of this cube, the YueXiao E and the YueXiao EDM, that's this one with the magnets. And even the more expensive one with the magnets is only $25, which is a really good price for a flagship 3x3, especially fully magnetized with all the customization that comes with it. The Weilong WRM, my current main, cost $40, which in my opinion is still a pretty reasonable price given that things like game cubes can cost quite a lot more than that. But anyway, these two cubes have very similar features, relatively similar performance, although I think I still slightly prefer the feeling of the WR at this point in time. Anyway, speaking of feeling, the feeling of the turns on the YueXiao EDM is very light. It feels like there's very little weight that you're pushing around as you're turning a layer, very little momentum to get going. It's just very easy to make a turn, just back and forth, just very easily. So on the one hand, this leads to the cube being very, very fast, as you saw right out of the box. Just feels like there's very little plastic rubbing together to slow it down. But on the other hand, it does kind of make the plastic feel a little bit cheap. Kind of feels like the cube is kind of hollow. There's not a lot to it. But at the same time, the structure of it is very sturdy and stable. It doesn't feel like it's going to flex around a lot. Anyway, the turning of the sides is very smooth with that nice little click in between. And speaking of that nice little click, let's check out this new magnetic system. So basically it has one setting right here where it's kind of further towards the core. And then I believe you can just take your fingernail like this and kind of move it over. So it's actually closer, further away from the core. And so it's very easy to switch it, it seems. It's just a very little force, just boop like that on all four sides, and you can do it without even taking the cube apart. So yeah, it was actually a lot easier than I was expecting to adjust it. You don't even need to use your fingernail or anything, just stick your finger in the pieces and pull it back, and bam, now we have stronger magnet tensions. It definitely is a lot more noticeable now. Not too strong, the other one wasn't too weak, but they're definitely two very good options for people who like stronger or weaker magnets. I think I'll keep it on the stronger option for now. It makes it a little bit more stable. Taking a look inside the puzzle to check out that mechanism, I can tell that we're definitely not going to have a problem with popping. It's very difficult to get that edge piece out. And speaking of popping, I don't think corner twisting will be a problem either. Pretty difficult to get that to twist. But now we can see the very simplistic yet well-performing mechanism of this cube. Here's a corner piece right here. Very big base on that corner. That adds to the stability a lot. But as you can see, very simple, very few pieces of plastic. There's no 3-part design or 2-part design or anything to add a stickerless option. Anyway, if we take apart the edge, we can see just the two little options on the magnets, just like that. You can just slide them up and down. But yeah, now we can see that the plastic is indeed very thin, which confirms that cheap feeling from earlier. It's not too big of a problem or anything. It's just a little bit of a weird feeling while turning, but if anything, it's an upside because it means you can get the cube for cheaper. Anyway, let's go ahead and scramble this cube up, and then we can do a quick solve. So inspection, and 3, 2, 1, go. So overall, I really do like this cube, even if I'm not so sure if it's going to become my main. The lightweight feeling to it is really unique, and if nothing else, it's really fun to play with if I have no other cube to use. Even if it doesn't become my main, I can still imagine just having it around and picking it up once in a while to do a few solves on, just because of that nice, satisfying, unique feeling. If you're looking for a near top-of-the-line Speedcube on a moderate budget, and $25 doesn't sound that bad, then I might recommend this cube to you just based on the price. Other than that, if you like my description of the turning of it, then I might also recommend it to you just because of that light feeling. Anyway, with this cool new adjustable magnet system, as well as MoYu's very useful spring adjustment system, this cube has plenty of features, and I don't see the performance being a problem for all but perhaps the most advanced of cubers. So for $25, as long as you don't mind not having it in stickerless, I could definitely recommend this cube to most people as a pretty good deal. I'll put a link down in the description below to where you can buy it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.